It's been sort of a weird rom-com Shakespearean drama with these guys this week. It's October 11th today, and I thought I would just go through and talk a bit about some things that have happened recently. One mishap, as well as just a few odd realizations I've made. So this is the chocolate reaper plant that it turns out is not a chocolate reaper plant. You can see here that these guys are ripening to a reddish orange color, and ideally eventually they won't be orange at all. But I was under the assumption that these were chocolate reaper seeds and thought, oh, well, surely they were just mislabeled. You know, maybe they just mixed them up at Scoville, Canada. But it turns out, no, I'm wrong, because this plant over here that I thought was the same plant, I thought that this rightmost plant and this center plant, I thought they were the same ones. But it is actually producing brown fruit. And I knocked one of them off the plant today by complete accident, unfortunately. This is one of the chocolate reapers here, as you can see. It's ripened a fair bit, but yeah, this came off of that plant. And so what that means is that I just mislabeled them at some point. I completely mixed it up. I don't know how. I was very, very meticulous, but it just came about regardless. And this has had some very interesting ramifications, because this guy over here, if you'll recall, he was what I thought to be a Carolina Reaper that came from over here, but the one in the center is the Carolina Reaper. So that means in actuality, this guy is most likely a chocolate Reaper, and I just didn't realize. And so in this tent, I'm pretty sure now that I have chocolate Ghost and then Carolina Ghost. And on one hand, that's cool, because now I've got both sets of peppers that have grown successfully and that I can harvest seeds from. And so really, as far as my goals went for this growing period, I have met them. And I'm very, very happy that I met them, but it's still just a little odd. I don't know how I made that mistake, and I'm not necessarily complaining, but it's just sort of one of those things, I guess. Anyway, I'll go through and give an update on these guys proper now that I'm through that weirdness. But this ghost pepper over here, I still have to prune back. It's gotten ridiculous, and there's still no peppers on it to speak of, unfortunately, but I'm getting there. This guy over here, the, I guess now Carolina Reaper, has a bunch of new peppers that have started to ripen. So you can see that guy have turned orange. That guy's orange. And then this guy's sort of an orangish red. And so it's my hope that if I leave them alone for a couple more weeks, eventually they will all turn full red. And then I'll just harvest them, use them for hot sauce. But they've been doing pretty well. And then I guess this second Carolina Reaper plant is doing pretty well. We've started getting some flowers forming, as you can see here, and I've been taking a toothbrush to them, and they've been shooting off pollen like crazy, and so that's really best case scenario for me. But these guys are doing pretty well, as they usually tend to. Now, these guys, I had a giant maintenance day with them today. As you can see, they are a lot less bushy than they were before, and that is because I pruned them like crazy. And so if they look a little leggy or a little worse for wear, that is just because I was going a little bit more nuts than I normally do, and so they'll probably be back to their normal strength in no time. But I've just been noticing that a lot of leaves are falling off of these guys, and I'm not sure if that's because it's becoming winter or what. The temperatures seem normal, so I just suspect that it's because I've been neglecting the nutrient swaps. I just keep procrastinating on them and not doing it anywhere near as much as I should be. And then when I was going into them today, I saw a crazy amount of salt build up at the bottom, and so I think I just need to be a bit better about that. But either way, these guys are doing pretty well otherwise. The one in the center has some new flowers that have been coming through, but no success pollinating them really, so I'm suspecting maybe it's just a problem with growing ghost peppers specifically. And then I guess this, what I thought was a Carolina Reaper is now a chocolate Reaper, is also doing pretty well. I pruned him back pretty heavily, but he's been, happy as he usually tends to be. But no new fruit really to speak of. This guy got a couple of extra ones, but aside from that, he's just kind of doing what he's doing, and I'm hoping that eventually he gets more fruit. But yeah, it's just not been a great yield on this guy. It's really only been the one plant over there that's been successful. So that's basically where things are at with me. So I appreciate you all for watching. I will give another update next week, but just overall a very, very interesting little chunk of time here with these guys. I've just discovered things that I didn't really expect to discover, and just made mistakes that I didn't really think I was making. So it's sort of fun to look at. But yeah, thank you guys. Have a nice rest of your day.